These are easy makeup hacks to freshen up your face. When you've had your makeup on all day and it's looking greasy, it's looking dull, it's definitely not looking lifted, these are the hacks that you can use to make yourself look fresh, awake, and just the best version of yourself. Now, before we head into this video, don't forget that I am on several different social media platforms. I have an online publication if you like reading, so regular newsletters there. I've got Instagram, which is a mix of everything. Got TikTok. I've got another YouTube channel, which actually helps you to grow on YouTube. So any business advice you want, you can head on over there. So take your pick. We've got something for everyone. Now, if you like this video, please do give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell button so that you never miss any of my future videos. Let's get into it. Now, what do you do when your makeup looks like this? Which is basically makeup that's been on for hours all day. It looks a bit old, a bit overly worn, and it needs to freshen up. But also, what do? Do you add more foundation? Do you add more powder? Like, what's going to work here and what's going to kind of like completely ruin my makeup? So I'm going to go through exactly how you can freshen up your makeup with easy hacks, not difficult, super easy for you to do. Anyone can do them. And yeah, let's get started. First thing I like to do is get rid of any kind of excess product that's just sitting on my face. So I get a tissue and I wrap it around my finger and I just very lightly go over just anything which is like just sitting on my face. And you might find that your foundation starts to look a bit funny, like maybe sticks to the dry bits. Don't worry about that. So all I'm doing is just getting rid of any kind of like grease, because obviously if you've got the time to do it all from scratch, then you do it all from scratch. I mean, look at all that. Crazy, right? That's just like crazy. So you can obviously do it from scratch, but I'm talking about when you don't have time and you just want a few quick hacks to just basically freshen it up. First hack was that, remove all the excess, which is part of another hack, which is to buff in a little bit of foundation. Now, I'm saying foundation and not concealer because concealer is going to be quite heavy and thick. You want something quite light and fluid. So I'm using my Makeup by Mario Surreal Skin foundation in 15N. I'm going to put a little bit on the back of my hand, just a little bit, tiny bit, right? Now, what I'm going to be doing is buffing this into the skin so we can get that nice fresh look. Now, we've already got whatever makeup residue we've got on, right? So you don't need to worry about primer, all that kind of stuff, because that's already on there underneath. But we've got whatever's left of our foundation on our skin. So I'm going to get my brush, and this is my Sigma F85 brush. I'm going to buff this foundation into the brush. So I'm buffing it in like that. Now, I'm just going to go over certain areas. Wherever you feel, you just want to kind of like give that nice fresh look. And I'm going to explain where I'm doing it. I'm just doing it along the cheeks here, just around the chin, because I get a bit of dryness there. I'm just literally going all over, but not to every single corner of the face. So it's just a very, very light, like I would put way more than this if I was starting from scratch. This is the tiniest bit of foundation that I've put on. And what this is basically doing, it's not just adding it. What it's doing is it's actually mixing in with whatever you've got on already. So what I would suggest is use a brush that you are happy with washing straight after, because I always feel like because you've got makeup on underneath, it kind of, you don't want all that. It might be even oils coming through that are coming onto this brush. So I always wash this after if I've mixed it in, you know, with whatever's already on my face. So this is obviously just a very easy way to freshen it up. Like already I feel like it just looks a bit more better. That's that first bit done. So now that we've done that, so we've removed the excess, we kind of added a tiny bit, but it's almost kind of like adding a tiny bit, but it's also not caking it up because it's the smallest bit. It was honestly the smallest, it was less than a pea-sized amount, like way less than that, like half of that. It's like the size of a well, I'm not going to say lentil, they're all different sizes of lentils, sorry, half of a pea-sized amount. What that's doing, like I said, is kind of buffing into the skin and making sure that whatever's already on there is kind of mixing in a bit better, you know, so that it kind of picks up it stops it looking so dry in certain areas. So now that we've done that, my face looks a bit more fresh. It doesn't look so dull and kind of like, oh, there's foundation here and there's none there. It kind of looks a lot better already. Next up, I'm going to get my Fenty Beauty Match Sticks in Banana. Now, you want to go for something which is brightening for your face. So not a color corrector, because you don't want to go for like an orange or anything like that. You want something which is kind of really going to help to brighten the area. So I think you've really got to look at your skin tone and then see like which color can I go for that's going to kind of similar to my skin tone, maybe similar to your undertone, but just help to really kind of lift lift the skin a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to get a brush and I'm going to get my Hourglass concealer brush. Now I am just going to basically go on top of this just to grab some of this product and put it on the brush. Now this isn't going to give me coverage, this is only going to brighten areas, right? So we've got some on the brush, I'm just taking it off on the back of my hand so there's not a whole load that goes on my skin. Now there are only certain areas I'm going to do this, and this is really going to help to freshen the face but also lift it so it doesn't look so kind of like dull. So first place is here. Now I'm going to go right on the corner of the mouth, there. And that's just going to help to lift it. Now, because we're not swiping it on like this, you're not going to get a crazy amount. So this is like a really good way to just kind of like freshen it up a bit and just give you that kind of brightness to the skin. Next place is going to be just along this area here. Just literally beneath the part of where your wing would go. And it's the smallest amount we're putting on. But it honestly helps so much with brightening the face and just making it look so much more fresher. Like you don't have to add things like eyeliner and stuff like that. This is just generally going to help to just freshen the face and just look like, it just looks, doesn't look dull. It just looks brighter. Like how, can you see how that's just lifted it immediately? Even here, like here, you can see it's just kind of, you know, and here it's just changed it up. So let's go along here. And like I said, you want the smallest amount because you don't really want like product build-up. And then a small amount here. I love this hack because I just feel like it's such an easy way to get that lift and make you look just so much more fresh. Now, if you wanted to, because we put a tiny bit of foundation and we've buffed it in, you could put a powder just on the areas that you feel that you need it. But it is honestly up to you if you feel that you need it. Like, I don't feel like I really need the powder there because I feel like it's allowing my skin to look a bit more kind of skin-like, and I don't want to make it look super cakey. So I'm going to leave that as it is. Okay, so next up, I want to just like kind of add some kind of, not gloss, but more hydration to my lips. So I'm just going to add my Dior Lip Maximizer. This is the clear one, just to let that kind of sit there for a minute. And my lipstick from this morning is kind of come off. It's just, there's no lip liner. It's kind of just all gone. There's probably a slight tint there. Now, I haven't taken anything off before doing this. I've just kind of like left it so that I can show you what it looks like a bit kind of, you know, overly worn makeup. Now, what I find is sometimes, like when it comes to freshening up my face, I feel like if I was to just add a whole new lip line, like line my lips and add lipstick, it can also end up looking quite kind of a bit too much, like I've just got too much makeup on. It's really weird. Like sometimes like adding more makeup is gonna make you look worse because it looks cakey, it looks like oily and greasy, whereas what I've just done is add the most minimal amount, and I've actually, it's a certain way that I've applied it. I've buffed it into the skin. I haven't just applied it on top and let it sit there, you know. I've really kind of made sure it's kind of really mixed in and kind of sunk into the skin, whatever was already on there. So what I like to do is not line the lips completely, because I don't know what it is, but whenever I try and freshen up and I do a whole new lip line, it just looks really weird. It just doesn't look right to me. So what I like to do is I put a little bit of a lip balm on. Then I get, rather than put kind of like foundation on my lips, because it can all build up, right? And plus the foundation is going to be all fluid. And then when you put your lip line on, it's going to just mix in and it just looks all, it just gets all smudged and it goes everywhere. So I get a powder foundation. Now it's great using a powder foundation instead because it's already a powder and it's going to give you, it's kind of smoothing the area a little bit as well with coverage. So I am using my Makeup Forever HD Skin Matte Velvet. Sorry, I've got something on my nose. And this is 2N22, something really going. Okay, I had to use the brush there. So anyway, I'm using my brush, which is my Real Techniques brush. I'm gonna go into this powder. I'm gonna tuck my lips in, and I'm only touching the lip line. It's literally going above the lip line. Can you see that like line there now, right? What happens is, the reason it ends up looking really messy when you reapply lip liner after your makeup's been on all day is, even if you wipe your previous lipstick off and then you start with lip liner on, all those words came out weird, and you start with lip liner again, it can still end up looking like, why does it still look like I've had this on all day? And what it is because everything's smudged around your lip line, so you've constantly got that smudged look there. So what we want to do now is we've actually kind of gone over with powder and not so we made, whoa, What is going on with my words? It's just not coming out. So we're making sure it's super matte on the lip line so that when we apply our lip liner again, firstly, it's nice and flawless there. Secondly, it's matte so the pencil can actually stick there and it's not going to kind of blend and kind of bleed outwards. So that's that. And then we can go in with a lip liner. This one is the Sculpted by Amy Lip Duo. This is Mauve Match. So there's a lipstick on one end and there's a lip liner on the other. Now I'm not going to line my lips all the way around. I'm only doing these bits here, top and bottom. I've got my lip brush and then I'm just going side to side. Now what this is doing is spreading that lip liner because I've already got a little bit of gloss on the inside like a balm. So it's helping it to spread. I swear I've got some kind of hair on my nose. What happens is when you start applying it all the way to the ends, it can look a bit, you know. So I like to just apply it in the center and then it spreads out. You can go over with a lipstick if you want. I'm just going to use this one that's in here. But I'm just going to dab it on because I don't want a full lipstick look. So this next hack I'm going to show you is really easy. This is when you want to kind of like add a little bit more sculpt to your face, like you want your cheekbones to pop a bit, but you don't want to go full on with all the contouring. You can use either a contour stick or a bronzing stick or anything like that if you want. So what I'm going to do is use a concealer, and I'm using my NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in whatever the shade is, but I'll put it up on the screen. So all I'm doing, putting a little dot there. It's honestly so easy this way. Like you don't have to, it's like right where you'd expect dimples to be if you had them, right? You want a brush which is kind of soft, something that you're quite comfortable kind of like buffing in and blending with. I'm using the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Complexion brush. I'm using the big side. Now I'm just gonna get this. I'm gonna smile a little bit and I'm gonna take it up. Just there. So you don't have to like go all the way up. Look how that's just like given that really nice curve to the cheekbone. So you don't have to worry about like going all along the perimeter of the face. This is just a really quick, easy way to get that little sculpt right where you need it. And that's it. That's it. So you've got that nice curve to that. You can see the cheekbones now, but they're not like, it's not crazy, right? So honestly, that is super, super easy for you guys to do. Next little hack is using a cream blush. This is gonna help to freshen up your face, but you're not gonna use anything to put it on. You're gonna use your finger. I'm using my e.l.f. Putty Blush in Turks and Caicos, and I'm using my finger. So I've got it right there. Putting it on the back of my hand just to make sure I haven't got a whole load that goes onto my skin. And now I am just gonna press this into my skin, just on the kind of top peak of my cheekbone, and this really does help to freshen the whole face. But the thing is, because you're using your finger, so it's kind of like, it's not just the fact that I'm applying a cream blush in that area, it's also the fact that you're using your finger. It's really kind of targeted. When you use a brush, it just ends up going into areas that are a lot where you don't really need it. So this way, you're actually kind of like being a bit more strategic with where you're applying it, and it's quite high up, so it really helps to kind of freshen the face and lift it. There you go. I just find that just really freshens the face. So it's just, you know, the hack is to apply a cream blush, but also apply it with your finger. You know, you don't have to apply it with a brush. I think that is just such a nice way at freshening the face. Already, I feel like my face looks way more awake and just fresh. That's what we're going for. And by the way, you can use this on the lips if you want. I think it kind of like gives an overall nice kind of like fluid look. Last but not least, the last hack that we're going to be doing is to help to kind of like open areas up. Now I'm going to use my Makeup by Mario Master Mattes palette, and I'm going to be using Matte 2, and I'm going to go in with my Refa, I don't know how you say this, 01 brush, and I'm going to apply that shade onto it. You can use a lighter shade, something that's going to show up on your skin. Now I'm going to apply this to key points on my face, right? and you'll see it's like you're not going back and forth. It's not complicated. It's just super easy. It's a really easy way to just open up areas on your face. So what I'm going to do is, first off, I'm going to apply a little bit just under this brow bone here. I feel like this is something we used to do back in the day, but it really does still work to help like lift the area. The other place is right here. I feel like this really helps. Oh, this is really tickly. To just open the area up, and you can go over where we applied that banana shade if you want. It just helps to mattify it a bit if you want, and also just to kind of help with the lift. I also like to just apply a little bit on the peaks of my top of my lip, and I feel like that just kind of lifts it a little bit. Honestly, it's about being very clever with where you apply it. And that is my little video of some cute little hacks that you can use to help freshen up your face. Honestly, there's just a few in here, but they are very kind of helpful hacks, I feel like, that really work to freshen up your face. They're not just random hacks. Honestly, if you try it, you need to try it to believe it, right? So you need to go away and actually do it on your all day worn makeup, you know, the whole buffing into the skin with a tiny bit of foundation, all these other little bits that I've shown you, for you to be able to see the difference that it actually makes. I mean, if you look at what my face was like at the beginning of the video, it's very kind of like dull, very kind of like just all over the place, like everything was a bit, you know, but now it looks like a bit more fresh and lifted, and yeah, a bit more awake now. So hopefully that is something that you're going to do as well. I really do hope you've enjoyed this. Wherever you are in the world, I'm sending you loads of love. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell button so that you never miss any of my future videos. Until the next video, take care, and I'll see you soon.